Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Vulture Culture Podcast. The only podcast that the host can get sick for a while and then feel like shit because we missed a couple episodes. uh, I'm here with my two co-hosts, Roxy Reviews and Sir Plays a Lot. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are we?
We're back.
Yeah,
During the viewers' time, it wasn't that long ago.
sorry viewers, I guess, because if you don't know, between episodes, what episodes came out recently? Episode 10 and 11, a lot of shit got thrown my way, so I had to go deal with that. But that shouldn't impact any uploads or anything like that, hopefully. So, yeah, we are back in the sense of we never left. You wouldn't have noticed. But hey, you know what? I'm fine with them knowing about this. So how are we all? How are we all doing today? How are we all doing today?
I feel good because I've been excited for this episode ever since I pitched the idea.
Yeah.
And by pitched, I mean chose it because you couldn't argue against that.
See the one
So.
here. Okay, hold on. I was actually talking about this the other day. I said if the only episode of the podcast I would say I don't want to do would be an episode on the Wizard of Oz, because I just don't feel comfortable talking about that movie. But that would be the only movie. There's probably
Why that? Why that movie?
The history behind it.
Because
okay.
weren't most of the people who made it like awful to the actress who played Dorothy?
The Munchkins were
Yeah.
like really horrible.
Ironically, the Wicked Witch, right?
No, the Munchkins. They were sexually.
No, I mean, and also ironically, wasn't the Wicked Witch also nice to her?
Oh, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ironic. Also, I think the actor who played the Tin Man, like he had like an issue on set. Oh, I think it was like the metallic paint. Like he couldn't, like when he inhaled it, it like damaged his lungs. What a great start to this episode.
Wow.
About today's episode, we are talking about the one and only Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I have the Wikipedia page here. I'll read it off real quick. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a 2005 musical fantasy film directed by Tim Burton, written by John August. That's a funny name. Based on the 1964 child's novel of the same name by Roald
Dahl.
Roald Dahl.
The film stars Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka and Freddie Highmore as Charlie Bucket, alongside David Kelly, Helena Bonham Carter, Noah Tyler, Missy Pyle, James Fox,
Carter.
Deep Roy, and Christopher Lee. The story follows Charlie as he wins a contest with 4 other children and is led by Wonka on a tour of his chocolate factory. Not to get this one confused with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because I do that all the fucking time. But no, it's not that movie. It's the other one. Not that one, the other one. You know. So before we get into actually talking about the movie, I thought we could talk about Tim Burton. And what we think about Tim Burton.
Boy!
Tim Burton as a director.
Boy! That's surprising. We're not doing our first viewing. First? Okay.
Well, I mean, Tim Burton's not a good person.
What are you talking about? Everybody loves Tim Burton. They have good movies.
He literally said, didn't he say that he like doesn't put black people in his movies because they quote unquote don't fit his aesthetic or something like that?
What are you talking about? That's just a bunch of bull hockey. Like that.
Well, that's kind of odd because in Batman '89, didn't they have Harvey Dent in it and he's black?
I think that's true. Actually, the reason why I bring up Tim Burton is not to bring up the controversy, but rather talk about the, what is it called? Rather talking about the entirety of, like, his filmography, if we've ever seen any Tim Burton movies, because this is like the first time we're ever talking about Tim Burton. Versus like normally we would
Yeah,
never
I mean,
really.
because why would we specifically call attention to the first time we talk about Tim Burton? Like, is he an actor worthy of special attention?
Actor.
Well, I mean, he did make
I mean, director.
pretty
Director.
influential movies. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, he did. And
Yeah, that's.
a fun fact.
And then he
those-
also made this, which is
okay.
not influential in the slightest.
What are you saying, sir?
I was about to say, for those who follow me on Letterboxd, fun fact: I was originally going to do a Tim Burton review marathon back when Beetlejuice 2 came out, but around that time I had to like move out of my apartment. I was also starting film school at the time. It was just so much that I just couldn't do it, unfortunately.
That's understandable.
And which is sad. That would have been my first like director-themed marathon.
Hey, you could probably still do it.
What is your director themes marathon?
I haven't done one yet, but hopefully I can do Steven Spielberg next year.
Actually, isn't he coming out with a new movie this year?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it's called The Dish.
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of movies. That's why it's always
Which
interesting.
I'm excited for since Steven Spielberg's
We
one
are
of the most,
not.
like,
We. How long is it gonna?
wanted
We're
review
already
marathon.
unfocused.
Oh,
Yeah, we're already on focus.
Uh,
Tim Burton, he's okay.
like the only thing I know him for is Batman and Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously. But
He didn't. He's not even the director of that movie.
what?
Yeah, it was technically Henry Selick who directed Nightmare Before Christmas.
Why the fuck does he get the credit then?
Because it's based
but
on a
probably
short
just
story
because
that
he
he
is a
wrote
famous
in
person.
high school or something.
What the fuck? Episode over. Why are we even doing this? No, I'm kidding. I'm just. I can't believe this bullshit. Like what the hell? This fucker didn't even write.
Burton's a bad guy.
Wait, he's Batman? No. The only movie I know he's done, like, live action movies, because I bet he's done tons of them. But the only one I have seen personally is Batman 89. I haven't watched it.
Is that the one with Danny DeVito?
No, that's
I know Batman
Returns.
Returns is
And that's
one
one
of
of the...
Danny DeVito, which he also directed.
Yeah, that one I heard was 12 times worse. So I'm kind of more like, should I watch that one, or should I kind of, not, and just kind of go, I won't watch
I mean,
it.
I'm surprised I haven't watched that one, seeing how much I love Batman.
Yeah, I love Batman too. That's another weird thing, is that Batman is probably one of, like, the most popular characters. It's weird how many movies he got.
And we're off again.
Hey, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, Tim Burton.
You just want to delay talking about this movie.
Yeah, probably. Actually, no, that is. I do not like this movie. And, oh, sorry. Spoiler alert, I don't like this movie. And we'll talk about why here in a minute. Okay, so basically, we all have varying opinions about Tim Burton's, like, directing. We mostly just talked about Batman and how he doesn't own Nightmare Before, and he didn't even direct Nightmare Before Christmas. Did he direct Corpse Bride? Or is that...
I believe he did.
So.
Okay. I was just making sure.
You know, they got him, interestingly enough, to work on the Black Cauldron, and then they just didn't go through with like the character designs and stuff he made.
Huh. Well, that's odd.
Hey,
What he
if there's anything I can say about Tim Burton other than the fact that he's racist, he's an interesting character, I guess.
He is definitely... This is definitely, like, one of the weirder sides, I guess. I think this movie shows just how weird a Tim can get. Alright, well...
Yep, for now. Yep, back to Truly Charles and the Sludge Factory.
Choo-Choo Charles and the Sludge Machine.
Man, I wonder what surfing movie.
Oh, boy! Okay, so the first thing I have here shall we talk about the plot?
I thought we were gonna talk about
I
our
was just
first
gonna say we should
impressions.
get the
Like,
elephant out of the room and
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let's do first impressions. You know what? That's fine.
that
First,
scene.
we'll talk about first impressions, and we'll start with Sir. Go right ahead.
um,
Wait, sorry, what happened? The audio cut out for a moment.
Oh, Sir's gonna give
I'm
his
talking
first
about our
impressions.
first impressions, like what we felt about like when we first heard about it, which was like even when I was growing up, always loved Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I kind of avoided Charlie up until this point.
Mm.
And and before anyone in the comments gets on my case about this, yes, I know it's not a remake of Willy Wonka. Well, both of them just so happen to be adapting from the same book. I am fully aware of this. Don't do a comment like, you know, this isn't a remake, right? Yes, I know.
I think you're mad because I had to mention this to you several times already
No,
in the podcast DM conversation.
I know. I
I think
definitely.
you only mentioned it once.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying it here to avoid people saying the same thing in the comments over and over because that gets annoying.
People repeating themselves in the
What
comments is never
comments?
annoying. Shut up. Shut up. Anyways, continue, Sir. Sorry.
But yeah, I, th- I think I already said what I wanted to say.
All right, Roxy, you go right ahead.
What's the question again?
Like, what was
Your
your
first
first
impression.
like before heading in?
Oh, the first time I ever watched this movie, I saw that it was on Netflix, and I was like, "Wait, there's another one of these? That's crazy!"
That's nuts.
And what?
I said, man, that's nuts. That's how I would react to it. Sorry, go ahead.
And I watched it, and I didn't like it at the time. I think because I was like, but Willy Wonka is creepy in this movie.
Mm?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Even though like he's supposed to, yeah, that works. He's let's not get into it now. Actually,
All right. All right.
but
Oh.
yeah, I was like,
Mama,
Is
yeah.
the
mama, mama.
nuts.
You're probably like mama, mama, mama,
But
mama,
yeah, I
mama.
rewatched it several years later, and I'm like, I actually like this. This is cool.
Mm-hmm. And you still watch it even today, right?
I didn't watch it today. I watched it like a week ago.
Oh,
But
okay.
sure.
All right, we'll pretend like you already watched it. Um. Okay. Well, I guess it's up to me to talk about. Okay, so my first ever seeing of this movie was like, it was brought up in conversation asking if I've ever seen, like, any of them, like the first one or the second one. And get ready, dear viewers, I haven't seen even the original. Shocker, I know. I still, like, okay, when I say I haven't seen it, I should say I've seen it, but, like, it had to have been, like, a decade ago. Like, it's like the first one. I had never seen this one, like, all the way through. The only other. Oh, bless you. The only other time I have seen this movie was I caught Seasons Silver. Hi guys, if you're listening to this, highly doubt it, but they were watching it in Trevor server, and I was like, "What the fuck is this movie?" And it was the ending scene where Morgan gets his teeth checked, and I was like, "Okay, well, that's weird." And like
The
then,
scene where Wonka gets his teeth checked, but ironically, he has better teeth than his dad.
yeah, uh, But other than that, I was like, this doesn't seem like anything I was interested in. So basically, I said I would not watch it. And then, like, I know Wonka came out. I've heard mixed things about Wonka. I heard it was good, heard it was bad. So, comments.
I had a chance to see Wonka in theaters, but I instead watched Godzilla -1.
Oh yeah, that movie's actually really good, ain't it? Godzilla -1. That's a good movie, ain't it? Or is it bad?
Yeah. No, it's really good.
Wow. Maybe I should get that one. Maybe that could be an episode on the podcast. Okay. Other than that, though, I haven't seen much of it. I watched it today, and do I have opinions for y'all? I bet y'all could probably guess by the way I'm talking about it. I'm not a big fan of it. So, yeah, that's our first impressions. I guess it's now time that we dive knee deep into the plot. So, sir, what do you think of the plot?
Plot. It's all right. I mean,
Oh, sorry.
I kind of. I don't know how to do this without constantly comparing it to Willy Wonka.
Okay, here.
It's an alright plot.
I was just gonna say, like, to be fair, the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory did come out, and like that, like I bet people knew that one way more than they thought of the book. Let's just get that out of the way right away.
Yeah, because they actually, I don't know if you know about this, they actually worked with Roald Dahl's family to make sure it was like as close to what they think he would have wanted as possible in like an accurate adaptation.
Oh wow, how nice of them. Too bad the guy they got.
Because when Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory came out, he and like the fans of the book hated it, and it didn't do well either. The movie basically became popular because it was like a really cheap movie to fill time on your TV network with.
Whoa, really? Like,
yeah,
damn. That's
Yeah, I mean, I knew that. It also became popular to rent on VHS, from what I've heard.
Huh.
I miss VHS.
I actually, funny enough, dude, real quick, I went to a local flea market. I found a copy of Godzilla vs. King Kong on VHS, and I was really close to buying it. I just wanted to bring that up because you brought up VHS, so I just wanted
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, back to the plot. It's all right. There are definitely like some changes. I don't know how close it is to the book since I never read it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. Let's get it. Roxy, you go.
Me? For what I think of
Yeah.
the plot?
Yeah, what do you think of the plot?
I think the plot's pretty good. Like, I with the whole competition thing, I especially like that even though Willy Wonka would like seemingly have it all because of the factory and the success of that and stuff, he's like very lonely and awkward because he hasn't gone outside in years, and even though Charlie you would think would be the unlucky one because of his family's financial situation, he and his family have like a good sense of community, which is what Wonka needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing? If you
What?
If you like, okay, I'm gonna ask you this: if you don't like any type of relating chocolate bars, why the fuck would you go out of your way to buy chocolate bars and then circumnavigally make sure nobody else can win them just so that you can prove a point, but then not sell the chocolate bar and then go to the chocolate bar place where they make the damn chocolate bars? That's my question.
He did it because he could, not because he actually wanted to.
Well,
Like,
well, see, like if
it-
he wanted to break the system, you know what I would have done with that ticket? I would have sold it, cause like obviously there was a market for people to buy it.
okay, do you really think Mike? Do you really think Mike TV has the intelligence to do that? I mean, he has the intelligence to figure out the mathematical system, but ultimately, he's a fucking dick. I think it's great, honestly.
They made him
Okay,
more
so
unlikable
say
than.
what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I will make this comparison just right here, since Sir almost made a comparison between movies earlier. With Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I didn't feel like I mean, with the exception of Veruca, obviously. I
Yeah, I was
didn't
about
really
to
feel
say
like
they
the
made him more
children.
unlikable than the original Veruca in this one.
Yeah, I didn't really think that the children in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory were all that unlikable. Like, Augustus was fat. That doesn't mean you should kill him. I mean,
Well,
to be fair, Augustus still isn't all that bad in this one, but he is worse. But
I mean, both of them are German stereotypes.
but the thing is, uh, and Mike TV was just like a hyperactive kid who was too obsessed with TV. In this one, Mike's a fucking menace. Like, he's a psychopath in the
But like,
making.
yeah,
And
but like,
I think that's great. I think it's great that they made it so that, like, it's clear who the best of the children is because of the situation he lives in. In the other one, in the other ones, by this point, the other children, by the point that they're gotten rid of in the movie makes sure that you hate them already at that point.
the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I was just wondering. The thing is though, like, I would think like if,
Mike is like the ant. Oh, sorry.
I thought for a minute you were about to say.
I was just gonna say Mike. I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say Mike is like the exact opposite of Charlie.
I don't know why, but I thought for a minute you were about to say that Mike is like the Antichrist, and I was about to be like, I don't think I'd go that far.
I mean,
I
he might as well be.
He's the anti-Charlie though.
He might as
Because
well
he's
be
like
to
a
me
kid
since
from
he, like,
a
whipped out the R slur. That actually caught me like, whoa, wow.
Yeah, I know that.
But
That
then again,
also
this
caught
was
me off guard.
2005.
Hey, what happened?
He called someone the R slur,
Yes.
and it was fucked up.
Then again, this is 2005. People are way less accepting then, and still not accepting now, but
Whatever, I guess.
you get the point.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, it's gonna become less accepting if something of note doesn't happen.
but I was just gonna say, like, I still think it's bullshit that they're like, oh well, you know, he doesn't like chocolate, and that's like a big shock. But I'm like, yeah, if I didn't like chocolate, I wouldn't be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go to this place that makes chocolate. I'd be like, fuck that.
I don't think Mike likes anything other than murder.
Or TVs, because like obviously.
To be fair, ironically, with Mike being a psychopath, the factory is kind of the perfect place for him to at least watch what happens to the other kids and be like, yes, yes,
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, like an evil scientist. But it just caught me off guard because I'm like, well, if again, if I was a kid and I could go out of my way and just buy a chocolate factory or some shit, or like get more TVs, because like that's the whole thing. He likes TVs. Well, if I like TVs, you know what I'll do? I'll sell this stupid fucking ticket because obviously there's a market for it. And guess what? More TVs! Holy shit! And obviously his parents don't seem like, you know, the richest people, but they could probably make a bankload of money off of it. Maybe I'm thinking
they're clearly a well-off enough family that it's funny because calling them his parents, yes, they are his parents. They clearly didn't fucking raise him.
Seems like he's an evil tyrant. But yeah, no, that was just one of the things that kind of like threw me off. I was like, well, if he doesn't like chocolate, why doesn't he just like not go? Why don't he just let his parents go? But I get like he won it. He did it. He did it because he wanted to prove.
Well, because also keep in mind his parents couldn't have just gone because Wonka specifically said that he wanted children to look into the factory to win the tickets.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. My bad.
But I was just gonna say, So you know how in the FNAF episode I said that I imagined like Phone Guy is just like a middle-aged divorced dad? I imagine Phone Guy looks like Mike TV's dad in this movie.
Yeah, you know what? That is fair. Also, when you keep saying Mike TV, I just think of like a random YouTuber that went from like a just a pretty normal guy to an anti like SJW channel. Like that's just immediately what I think of for some reason when you said Mike TV. But yeah, I do agree. I just kind of wish I kind of agree with what you're saying though, Roxy. Um, other
And in
than
a way, as well, you could. Sorry.
oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
In a, in a way, you could also easily tell each of the. It's not just the kids being bad; it's that their parents were clearly failures in some sort of way when it came to raising them. Like Augustus's mom babied him. Veruca's dad gave her everything she wanted. Um, Mike's parents are just neglectful. I don't think they did anything except give him food, and and Violet's mom is trying to live vicariously through her daughter by basically trying to make her like what she wanted to be at that age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely get it.
Yeah.
I just find it so weird that like I mean like whenever we see all the kids and we see them all go, I was kind of just thinking to myself, I was like, if this happened to my kid, I'd probably call the fucking police. But then again, it's like, what are the police going to do? They can't go in there without a warrant and proof that it happened.
But when they go out and they see your son like stretched out like a
When your
giraffe.
son turns into fucking Mr. Game and Watch.
Yeah. It was like I was watching it, and
That
I was
also
like,
caught me off guard at first. Like, oh god, what? It's not back to normal.
yeah, just they tried.
Ironically, Violet and Veruca would end up being probably fine after this, since Violet's mom can't abuse her in the way that she did before, and Veruca's dad actually got a spine.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So those two probably grew up to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, aside, like, I thought it was funny that, like, whenever she was like, I want that squirrel. And, like, when she just went over there, I like how Charlie was kind of like, just let her go. And her dad's like, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And I was watching, I was like, dude, if that was my kid, oh, man. Bro.
But once again, clearly Veruca's dad is afraid of her.
Yeah, I get that was, like, the point.
yeah.
But still, I would be like, dude, if that was my kid, I'd be so unhappy. It'd be unreal.
I think we've gotten more into the characters than the plot.
Okay, yeah, back to like.
I mean, to be fair, the plot isn't really. To be fair, the plot isn't like the big focus. I mean, it's still there and it's a good plot, but
should we talk?
A huge part of the appeal of the movie is like the characters and the setting.
Should we?
Yeah, we might as well get to the characters.
Before we do that, should we talk about how they got the Oompa Loompas?
Oh boy, I knew we were gonna have to talk about it eventually. Which, by
Caroline,
the way, earlier in the
Caroline.
episode when I said the elephant in the room, I was referring to this.
All right, Caroline, not gonna lie, when you said before you get into that, I thought you were gonna go like, let's get into today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, God.
Today's sponsor, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Have you ever wanted to be inflated? Well, now you can.
What did he say? Like he said something like, "You want to try our Wonka bars? Taste them for yourself." And like it's like the TV technology. Just put your hands through it. You could grab the chocolate bar. You could do something like that for an ad. I mean,
Let's get your hand into our website, Squarespace.
You know what? I'll say this as a nice detail. I don't know if you noticed this, but as it went on, the rooms became like darker and less colorful.
Yeah, like near the end, whenever.
Wait, there color in this?
Yeah, so like the chocolate room has the chocolate room is pretty colorful, all things considered. I mean, you get and also by the way, the background of it being like a hollow factory wall, I think was a really nice detail just to show, even though this is a cool place, it's still kind of messed up and off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I still think.
Then the inventing. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go right ahead. No, I know what you're talking about. I was just gonna say, one of my biggest.
Then when they get to the inventing. it's still colorful, but in a mechanical sort of way with darker colors. But and then when we get to the nut room, it's literally just two colors, blue and white, and then it's reduced to white by the time we get to the TV room. I think that's a really cool detail. Like you're getting into like the facade of the factory slips away as it goes on. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool.
I agree. I didn't even think about it like that either. But yeah, no, I mean, the main thing is that I don't really care too much for the the scene that we're gonna talk about real quick.
No, I like this movie. I do not like this scene.
Me either. I think. I mean,
Neither
Brought to
do
you by
I.
Tim Burton. Why did it take people so long to realize he was racist?
I genuinely was shocked. Like whenever, okay, so a little quick catch up for everybody who's listening and is confused and not part of Roxy's server, which by the way you should go join. When while they were talking, I joined in at one random point and I said the reason why is because I was doing a rewatch this morning of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and that scene came on, and I was like, "Oh, Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, my bad." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
You said the same wrong title twice.
To be fair, there's nothing to be fair about. I just want to say that. But I was genuinely so absolutely stunned whenever I saw that scene for the first time. I was like, okay, this is a problem.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
How
out
is
of
it
here.
people that?
Oh, sorry.
How is it that people in 1971 had the foresight to avoid controversy than people in 2005?
Exactly. And and a lot of people would probably say, is it really that big of a deal? Yes. And this comes from someone who does have native descent. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm a Native American. And I am white as snow if you see me in real life. However, I do have Native American descent. And I don't like that they did that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, in addition, and I say this as somebody who is not of Native American descent, my sister took a DNA test and it's just 100% European.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, cool.
But and I say this as somebody who actually does like the movie overall. That scene is fucked.
Yeah, especially okay, if they were from
especially because he doesn't even pay them in money. He's like, hey, here's
a factory you can live in.
Hey, here's a place for you to work for me.
No, not even just that. You bring that up, but one of the things that really got under my skin was I had to communicate with them, and it's just a bunch of stupid ass fucking noises. I was like, okay, yep, this is uncomfy.
Okay.
No, I can't with that. That was fucked up. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay, sure, when you listen to people speaking in a language you don't understand, it sounds like random noises. Don't just make random noises in the movie,
He literally goes at one point. I was like, whoa, what the fuck was that? And it was like, oh well, we're trying to be funny. It's like, yeah, but that's not funny at all.
Hey, wait, didn't Johnny Depp? Wait a second. Didn't Johnny Depp play a Native American guy in The Lone Ranger?
Yes.
Yes, he did. And it's like, God, dude.
Is that fucking blackface, dude?
More like face paint, but I get where you're coming from. God, that was just... That really got under my skin, too. It's not just a thing of, oh, I'm being a woke Sojak liberal, and I don't know what comedy is. Because it's not.
No. It's like people who are like, oh well, you shouldn't be offended by jokes, or people who are like, oh well, you're stupid for caring about stuff like that. There are always people who can afford to not care.
But and even then, I'm just more, and it's it's one part of the movie. It's not the entire movie. But still, it's like enough for me to go, okay, dude, like, please don't, don't do something like that. Like, cause at the end of the day,
It's
that's
it's
what they're.
funny because sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
It's funny because I suggested this movie knowing that you two probably wouldn't like it, but since I did, I thought it would be I thought it would be fun to discuss. And then as soon as that scene came on, I was like, "Oh, I forgot about this."
Oh
Yeah, the one thing
no.
about this movie we can agree on is that scene is shit.
Yeah, it's not good, and like, not even just like it's not good. It's insulting.
Oh yeah, also where it's like, "Ooh, look at the food they eat. It's gross."
Oh yeah, how sweet. Like, I mean, and people are gonna probably go, "Hey, a racist mind is a racist kind," or whatever. Like, but it's guys, it's right there. That's racist. It's fucked
It's
up.
he literally like lifts up the ground up caterpillar and looks at it like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and not only that, like, I don't know. I just find it very disgusting and extremely disrespectful. I don't know, and it's like, yeah, but they're Oompa Loompas. They're not real, but it's still like,
Still, like,
Okay, they're clearly intelligent enough to be people. Like
yeah,
they're
they're
they're basically humans except shorter, and they all look the same.
yeah. It's not, and like, and not only that, with the plot itself, like, there's more problems with this movie. Like, I guess this is just because I don't care for Willy Wonka as a whole. I don't like the plot. I don't like the kids. I think the kids are annoying. I get that's the point, but still, you're going to be dealing with them. And yes, they do get their just desserts to an extent. Like, literally, I don't think one of them should have got their entire body stretched like a PNG, but still, like, God, that kid's gonna have a bad back for the rest of his life. But
oof, my back.
my Mac,
The best part is when you said that, I thought you were referring to Violet because
no,
two of them undergo some form of extreme body
yeah.
mutilation.
Oh, they're both gonna have to deal with that, aren't they? Yeah. No, it's very much one of those.
And funnily enough, in the soundtrack version of the song, I don't know if it was like just how I watched the movie, but they cut out part of the they cut out part of the songs, which might have been because it was playing on a network with commercials. But in part of the Augustus Gloop song, listen to the soundtrack, by the way. The soundtrack's really good. Um, in the Augustus Gloop song, they're like, "Oh," in the Augustus Gloop song, it's implied that he will be turned into chocolate, but not harmed. And at the end of the movie, his mom tells him not to stop eating his fingers. So Augustus might also just have undergone another type of body mutilation.
Jesus Christ.
Body mutilations all around.
And one quick final thing about the plot, and then we'll go on to the characters. Um, oh well, actually, I should add this. So never mind. I guess now we'll move on to the cast.
Mm-mm.
Like the cast of characters that we'll be dealing with.
Cast
The
of
cast?
characters.
The actual people, the actual actors they got were perfect.
Yeah, I'll admit, both movies do have a good casting choice.
Yeah, I was meaning more
Like
of
even
like. Oh,
even
sorry.
if I found Johnny Depp to be weird as Willy Wonka, he still did a good job with what he was given.
Yeah.
You know, the kid who played Augustus didn't even know English when he was cast. He had to learn it for the movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah. I mean, I was more meaning towards the. I was about to say the acting, but no, it was more towards the characters. What do we think about the characters? We'll start with Sir.
Like I said, the actors are pretty good. They're not much like, even though I feel like Veruca wasn't as like mean or as she was in the original. Like we said, Mike TV was a lot more nasty than she was in this.
She was just mostly bratty throughout this movie rather than being mean.
I think Mike TV being the worst one works since he's the last to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie's fine in this.
You
Don't
could
know
you could
what
even say he was good, a good doctor.
Oh,
a good doctor. Yeah,
way. No way. I
yeah.
forgot.
So they also gave Willie a backstory in this, which was this part of the book? I don't know.
I don't
I
know
don't
actually.
I don't actually know either.
Either way, I think all the
Either way,
characters.
it works fine. I mean, the
Yeah.
scene where he reunites, which is a bit confusing because I thought since he was a dentist, he would recognize his own son through like his teeth. But no, he has wallpapers of news of him.
Mm.
So why did he act surprised when he found out it was Willie?
He just really liked them.
Well, because Willy Wonka, keep in mind, Willy Wonka he stayed in the factory for years.
Yeah. Nobody really knew who I guess he was. Like they didn't know what he looked like because he was locked
I
away.
thought there was like a newspaper where you saw what he looked like in the distance.
Probably to be
Well,
honest.
yeah, sure, but would he remember the exact appearance of his son, who he's only seen in a low-quality newspaper image?
Okay, when you put it like that, yeah, he wouldn't.
I mean, I guess it's more of like the question of if you had a son or a daughter or whoever, like it would kind of be like you would kind of recognize them at the very least since they were a kid, you know? Like I mean, if if you disguise yourself, you know, whatever, which I mean, if there was a picture of Wonka's face, I would be a little bit more like, yeah, why didn't he see him? But I guess putting it in that kind of way, you know. But anyways, uh what do you think of the cast, Roxy? Or unless you're not done.
I like it. Well, I thought you wanted us to say more about Wonka's backstory.
Oh, I mean, we could. I don't care. I mean, it's up to you guys.
I mean, I just think, okay, I don't know how the hell his dad moved the entire apartment.
Into the Arctic somehow.
I assume that's the thing in the book since it's all wacky, like another one of many of other Roald Dahl's books. Since I know he did other books like BFG, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and even
But I just want to say, casting Christopher Lee as like an over obsessive dentist is fucking perfect. I don't know why, but it fucking works really well.
Mhm.
Where he like looks into Willy Wonka's Halloween candy and he goes lollipops.
Lollipops.
Um, I'm just not. I don't really care for the cast. Like, I mean, yeah, I get it. The kids are supposed to be annoying. I thought Wonka was alright. I didn't think he was anything really, like, groundbreaking. You know what I mean? Like, I get, like, not every movie needs a
Like
groundbreaking
what they
character.
did.
I
I
mean,
like what they did. Like, okay, and before don't go. Oh well, he's not Gene Wilder. I know he's not Gene Wilder. They're different actors, and they did different interpretations of the character. Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka was like a more whimsical, grounded, but
realistic.
grounded, but still a weird inventor type of guy. Like he's kind of like just
Yeah,
a what?
he's grounded, but he can still be like deceptive, like with his introduction where he comes out with the cane, only to do a
Yeah,
forward somersault.
and then Johnny Depp is like a psychologically damaged, emotionally stunted shut-in. And I think that's
Yeah,
cool that they took it in that direction, since obviously if he had only been in his factory with these Oompa Loompas who, I mean, they should still act like people, but since they should still act like humans, but since and they do act like humans, but clearly the way they act wouldn't reflect how society has progressed and like how humans raised in human society would think of and train him. It's basically like having a bunch of employees you're friends with,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the fact that Wonka's just this really awkward pale guy, I think that's really cool that they did that.
Yeah, both of them work in their own unique way, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Johnny Depp didn't do a good job here. I'm just saying the thing is, I couldn't really get invested with these characters. Like Wonka, yes, we had the whole backstory. You know what's weird? Okay, actually, hold on. Pause real quick. Why the fuck is this movie called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? And the first movie was called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The first movie was really focused and honed in on Charlie. Then this movie's really honed in on fucking Wonka. Like, you get what I'm
Okay,
getting
congratulations. Congratulations, you're the nostalgia critic.
I'm
You
sorry.
pointed that out to me.
I'm sorry, but like it's so stupid. Like I didn't even know the nostalgia critic called it out. To be fair, but like it's so dumb. I just realized that. I was like, wait a minute. Why the fuck would they call this one like you? Why would you call this one Willy Wonka, but then you won't call the other one Willy Wonka? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like that one was mostly about Charlie. This one's mostly about Wonka. Why the fuck are the titles switched? Anyways,
I think they called this one Charlie the Chocolate Factory because that's the title of the book. As for why the first adaptation would be called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I have no fucking idea.
I mean, I would have. Yeah. It's nobody's fault. Well, no, it is somebody's fault. I'll find them. If you're listening to this out there, I'll find you. And we're going to have a serious discussion. But.
I will find you. I will.
And I will sit you down and lecture. But,
I will find you, and I will force feed you the gum that inflates you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You might want to actually keep it distant from me if I'm going to do that. Anyways.
Actually, no. One, I'm not going to do that because one, that would be cruel. Two, that would probably be illegal. Three, I want to save the gum for myself.
Oh gosh, I freaking didn't know that was coming. Anyways, back to the main thing I was going to bring up. I just couldn't really jive with these characters. Like, did I feel bad that Charlie was homeless? Yeah, and did I think it was pretty like? I mean, he's not homeless, but you know what I mean. Like basically alone. But I still think, like, I'm just
His house is literally in italics.
Yeah, his house is literally fucking cracking at the seams. Resident Evil fucking Village house. But still, like, I mean, I just never really cared all that much for it. I thought that the movie, like, the characters were, like, fine actors, of course. But I just didn't jive with them. I
did think it was strange. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. You can go right ahead.
I was just going to say, I did think it was strange that Grandpa Joe, like, told those stories to Charlie when he did, because Charlie clearly already has some sort of affinity for Wonka in his factory, because he built a fucking model of it.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't build a model of it. Yeah, no. But what I was going to bring up as well was, I just thought it was really, like, the one, I actually also, this doesn't have much to do with the cast, but with the plot, I didn't really laugh in this movie. Nothing really, like, stood out, made me laugh. I mean, like, and that doesn't, I guess, really tarnish a movie's, like, legacy or anything. There was nothing that made me laugh. I didn't really feel anything in this movie. Like, at the end when the dad and Wonka hugged, I didn't, like, get emotional or anything. I just kind of went, oh, how sweet. And that was about it.
Oddly same for me in the last part, which is weird. I'm usually a sucker for father and son stories.
Yeah. But, like, you agree, like, you also didn't feel anything?
No, I think most of it I was just kind of baffled, like, what are these changes? Like, what? I think we'll mostly talk about them through, like, the presentation once we get to that.
Like, the presentation of the movie? Like, how it looks and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I I'm sorry to say, like, none of these characters really made me feel anything. Like, the most I felt during this entire movie, if I'm being totally honest, annoyed would be the best word for that. I felt annoyed. Whether that be that the cast wasn't like the kids were being annoying, some of the Tim Burton ass shit was annoying. Like, that's all I felt during this movie. And I wish I could say like, oh well, they're like the songs. We'll talk about the. You know what? Actually, are you guys ready to move on to the songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't care for the music in this movie. I didn't think it was very good at all. There was no bangers. Not a bangers. And trust me, I know bangers. There was nothing that made me bop my head or shake my legs or whatever. There was nothing like that.
Meanwhile, I have all 4 elimination songs downloaded on my phone.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
Alright, I mean, I just found them forgettable, and I know I just keep going back to Willy Wonka, but I just really love the classical musical style of that movie much more.
They repeat the same song several times in that one, though.
Well, same melody, different lyrics for each elimination.
And that's
yeah.
And this is coming from someone who has no connection to the originals at all, or to the original at all. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pause. Okay, sorry. I am back. Oh.
And so the part of the episode where it becomes a 2v1 begins probably.
I don't care for the music. And that might sound harsh, but I just don't like it.
I think the songs that they used were really good. I like it that each of them was done in like a different style of music as well that fits in with both the environment and the kid that got destroyed, except obviously in Veruca's case where it's meant to be sort of an oxymoron.
Yeah, I was about to mention, I did like the idea of them being like different genres of music. I just didn't think the songs themselves were memorable.
No.
Oh, what's funny?
Oh, go ahead.
Here's something you might find funny. It doesn't make them better or worse or anything. I just think it's interesting. Those songs, the lyrics for them were in the original book.
I mean, and again,
yeah, I did read a comment on that, like the Augustus Gloop scene on YouTube.
And that's cool. Like,
did you know these lyrics are actually in the original book?
And that's
like, wow, really?
That's cool. Sadly, I don't even give a shit about the original book. And like, I get like I'm sounding really mean here, so let me dial it back. Is the music in this song in this movie bad? No, actually. Do I like them more than the songs in Volcano High? I mean, I just played it, so I guess I could say that the songs in this movie is better than Volcano High, but that really ain't saying much.
What a random comparison!
So to be fair, I don't think that's like a high bar to clear.
I don't think anybody wanted to ask that.
I wanted to ask that, okay? I wanted to know.
You've made them suffer through Volcano High. Just let them have this, Roxy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know what? Hold on, real quick. Pointing the finger. Roxy made me play through Volcano High. Granted, it was for X-Men, and I don't doubt. Hey, you know what? I will say, to be fair, I am very shocked I beat Volcano High in the span of a day and a half. Like, what the fuck? I just sat down and beat it. Anyways, sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the music. Not a big fan. I don't think that the songs are all that good. I think they have some potential, but like other than that, I don't think these aren't bangers. This ain't the Undertale soundtrack here. Another
isn't
weird
the
connection.
Willy Wonka soundtrack.
And I don't know because I never listened to the original soundtrack. But
Oh, well, you should. You got some like Cheer Up Charlie, Candyman, Golden Ticket, and of course Pure Imagination, which really is wonderful.
And then the same melody with different lyrics like 4 times.
That and oh yeah, the I Want the World, the Verushka
you know,
song.
you know what? Actually, I think the first time.
Wait. Oh my god. It all makes sense now. After this episode, the sequel episode we're going to have to do is Tom and Jerry and Willy
You
Wonka
know,
and the Chocolate Factory.
actually, funny
The
fucking
crossover,
thing.
the crossover where they made that song into a duet between Slughorn and Veruca for some reason.
Hey,
Slugworth.
funny thing. That was the first time I ever seen Willy Wonka. I forgot to bring that up. I have seen that movie.
Mr. Tom and Jerry.
Yes. What the hell's wrong with me? I just thought that was really fucking hilarious, and I just kind of wanted to bring it up. That was the first time I ever heard, seen anything having to do with this. Cause
An all new original movie. Original in quotation marks.
yeah,
It's the most unoriginal thing ever.
Is it more?
Yeah, a movie that has the song about changing the world in pure imagination.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure plagiarism.
God. Anyways, what are you saying, sir?
Oh yeah, I think I already.
I just.
Back to
Oh yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't care. Personally, I don't care for the music. And I think, like, the main thing is, it felt like they tried going for different styles. Like,
Yeah, we brought that up
literally
earlier.
what they did.
but why? Why would you do that? No.
Just to make them more unique from one another.
And also, the different styles of music fit better with. Doing different styles of music fits better for different characters who had different fates from their own mistakes than giving them all oompa loompa doopity.
Do. Yeah, again, I admire the different styles. I just wish the songs themselves were more memorable. So I didn't find them memorable at all.
I'm literally trying to remember the song they sang during the blue, like when they had to roll her away. They had to roll her away because she was a blue.
And he went to like a rap.
Chewing
I'm not
all
sure.
day long. Chewing all day long. Chewing all day long.
Sing that song to a truck driver. He'll understand what you're talking about. Chewing. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I guess I'll stick by my opinions about the songs. Anyways, I guess.
Next is presentation, how it looks.
I have here actually that it is the effects and the set.
Oh yeah, that works
Yeah.
with it.
This is where I start going, yep, this is a Tim Burton movie.
Yep, this is. Yep, I literally said that in
the production value is really good.
I literally said to myself while watching this, why does this look so darker now? What's the point? I was like, oh, Tim Burton directed this. And to be fair, at first I didn't mind the more dark look at first because I thought what they were going for is like, oh, the world's dark, it's sad now. But when you go in the chocolate factory, it looks all bright and colorful and upbeat. Then it was like, there's barely any color even in the chocolate candy room. This movie does not look good to me. I'm sorry.
This is where I literally said, did they just take the set of Batman 85 and just kind of like toned it just
89.
89. Did I say 99? Sorry, my bad.
80. They said 85. Which...
Oh, 85.
For some reason, I misheard you.
The dark aesthetics of Gotham City work there for Tim Burton, just not with the Chocolate Factory.
Well, like, it works fine for Batman, because it's fucking Batman. That would make sense that
It
the
works
costume.
here because the factory is meant to be an off place.
Yeah, but the thing is, the factory's not even all that colorful either.
I just said the factory is meant to be off. It's meant to give you a feeling of unease.
Yeah, but like, okay,
You can do that while still having color.
it's like trying to make. It's like okay, you know what? Actually, perfect example. It's like if you know what? Let's go to a Batman comparison. It's like if the Joker's funhouse was just as dark as everything else outside. What's like you could literally say that's just a random henchman's location, but no, that's supposed to be Joker's funhouse, a funhouse. It doesn't look good. It looks bland and bleak, and honestly, I don't even like how the chocolate factory looks on the inside. On the outside, yeah, it looks kind of cool, but like, still, it does not look good. Okay, actually, you know what? Hold on, let me say
I
this.
did like the idea Roxy brought up earlier, where the further you go in the chocolate factory, the less color it has, which would be effective if it actually had color. Everything
Like,
just looks muted.
and that is the sad thing about it. Everything does just kind of look too dark. Like for this, like again, if it's supposed to look off, make it mossy. Then make it look like it was abandoned or something, which we know it's not. But at the very least, make it look like people haven't been in it for a while. Make it look like like okay, for example, FNAF 3. FNAF 3. The place looks like it was abandoned. Like it's gross and musty. And like, look, I get FNAF 3 is not a good game, and it looks like shit. I agree, but at the very least, they could go with an aesthetic of like, oh, the chocolate fountain is more broken down, and it became less of like a chocolate room, and instead more like a what's it called, a marsh or some shit like that. Like that would be more interesting than just, oh, it's just as like dark as everything else. Make it look more. I don't know what the word would be. Zany. Make it look like it's more chaotic, more whimsical. But no, it's Tim Burton. We got to be dark and depressing and sad because I guess that's all he can think of. I don't fucking know. That's just what I'm trying to get at. I don't like how it looks.
That's all I can think of after the Planet of the Apes remake he did.
Oh yeah, he did make a plan.
Isn't that the one that ends with like? Isn't that the one that? I mean, weirdly enough, also
I believe the one
ending
from
of the
2001.
Yeah, isn't it weirdly enough also the ending of the original Planet of the Apes book where the guy lands back on Earth and it's taken over by apes?
Wait,
But
it was
it's
based on a
taken
book?
over. It's yeah, Planet of the Apes is based on a book and it ends with like the guy landing on Earth, except like the Lincoln Memorial is an ape
Nope.
and
Statue of Liberty?
stuff
No,
like
that was the original one back in like, I think, 50s or
Yeah, I know.
or the 1962
No, no, no,
film.
no, 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 no. What I mean is, in the first movie adaptation of Planet of the Apes, the ending plot twist is that it was Earth the whole time. But in like the Planet of the Apes book, in the one directed by Tim Burton, if I remember correctly, it ends with the guy getting on a ship and leaving to go to Earth, only to discover that it's now a planet of like chimpanzees and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm to get back kind of on topic. I'm much more of a stern believer of like I don't know. It's kind of like if you know what here. Another example, just real quick. It's like if Disney World, you go to Disney World and it's just as bleak as New York City. Like why? Then why would you go to Disney World? You wouldn't. Like, cause then it just
Disney World must be the happiest place on earth.
yeah, and like that's basically that's how everybody should like how everybody kind of pictured Wonka's. It's the happiest place on earth. At the very least, that's how I look at it, and that's how the book and the movies or okay, sorry. I haven't read the books.
I just had a horrible epiphany
What?
since he said that. And like the factory is also very like inefficient at with how it has a bunch of stuff that doesn't create candy, which once again, even which once again Mike even calls attention to, and then Charlie's like, "Well, it's candy; it doesn't have to have a purpose." And Wonka's like, "Yeah," but I just think it's interesting. Do you think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was the inspiration for Poppy Playtime?
Um.
Like a combination of it and FNAF?
Okay, if I'm gonna be honest here, that wouldn't shock me if that was the case. But it also kind of would shock me if it was the case. You know what I mean? Like, that shocked me a little bit, but I get where you're coming from. I don't know. I don't know if it's an inspiration or not. For now, I'll just say they probably took some key notes from it. Maybe from, like, the original movie, because this movie I don't see... Well, I could. But yeah, I don't know. It could have been. And it might have been. But I don't know, personally. Shall we talk about... Alright, the effects real quick? What do we think of the effects?
There are... For 2005, they're alright.
I mean, I think they did the, multiple clones of the guy. Really well.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing in the movie.
Yeah, I think that effect in particular is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Also, the Chocolate River, which I mean, it was part of the set and not a special.
Actually, does look delicious. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's more part of the.
It actually looks like chocolate, which is ironic. I think it's okay. This is another pointless comparison. I think it's really funny that the chocolate in this movie looks better than the chocolate in the original movie, because in the original movie they actually used chocolate.
Yeah, I know that from behind the scenes. They used chocolate and it stank up the room real quickly.
You know what I just remembered? In the beginning of the movie, there was a point where they bring up how, like, Wonka built this chocolate pyramid, and then like
fucking dumbass didn't realize it would melt immediately. Also, how did he build that without it melting during construction?
What was even the whole point of that scene? I don't get it.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what did that have to do with anything? Like, I don't know. Why would you?
It actually felt like a Family Guy cutaway. Like, remember the time you built a chocolate pyramid?
That's what it actually does now that you've pointed that out.
Yeah, like, I was so confused. I was like, wait, what does this have to do with the movie? Like, because, like, afterwards, I, like, kind of went, like, I stopped for a minute and I was like, wait, why did they bring up the pyramid? Like, or, like, the construction of that one thing. Like, why would you bring that up? I get, like, he was telling a story about how Wonka was this, like, very smart and intelligent guy. But, like, at the same time, he's, like, he built a chocolate palace for a guy who lives somewhere in the Middle East, at least, I believe. Like, I don't know where he said specifically.
Wherever he lived, it was somewhere that was hot.
Yeah, like Egypt or something. Like, Egypt. I'm not going to say the other place that's next to Egypt, but you know what it is. Anyways, like...
The Mediterranean Sea?
No, okay.
The Mediterranean Sea. Oh my god, just like in Wish!
Oh my god. But yeah, like, I was so confused on why in the world they would, like, build that out there. Why would they ask Willy Wonka to ask him to build it out there? And what did it have to do with the movie?
And how did he build it without it melting during construction?
You see the problem?
Exactly.
They just bring it up so that we have a moral dilemma throughout the entire movie of just why would you show us that? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it looks cool, and and then I think it was like they asked Wonka to build another one.
I think it's also funny. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say they asked Wonka to rebuild it. And then he said, but Wonka had his own set of problems. And I was like, what? So, I mean, he should have listened, yeah, but, like, now that he's being asked to probably do it again, and he did probably get paid for it, he just said, nah, man, I'm too busy. I'm working on my.
I'm too busy being depressed and shit.
Yeah, like
Why didn't Wonka take any legal action against the people stealing his recipes?
I guess because like it wouldn't like. I don't know. I mean, yeah,
He's like,
that's
oh
another.
man, I don't want people to steal my recipes. Better shut down the entire factory.
I
Or
think.
shut down the entire.
Well, see, like then there's another plot hole right there. He didn't take him to court. You know what? Yeah, it's a perfect opening. People will get rich off this shit. You're an idiot. You thought you were actually gonna
It
be.
just made me remember that Slugworth
You
is
think he's
not
a
even in
genius,
this
but he's an
movie.
idiot. But I'm not. Runs into the teleporter.
God, it's so dumb. Why would you think it's a good
Well,
idea?
bro, you do realize that if we were on the factory tour, you would be Mike TV.
That
me?
doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, Caroline.
Like, okay,
Caroline.
you know what? Okay, with the TV idea, Wonka did think of a good idea, and it probably would have benefited humanity if he would have, I don't know. I'm trying to think. What could he have done? Oh, I don't know. Maybe sell the product, like, to, like, scientists and investors, make a boatload of money. And I get, like, I think, like, the entire point of the movie, he never really gave a shit about the money. But still, like, that's a lot of money. I mean, I'm just saying, if, like, I made that
Once again, you're pointing out exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but,
Mike
like, I
TV
wouldn't...
did
But see, the
in
difference
movie.
between me and Mike and... The difference between me and Mike is I wouldn't have been like, Wonka, you're a fucking idiot. I would have been like, oh, you could do this. I mean, that would be a cool idea. And if he'd be like, no, I want to do it for chocolate. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to argue with the guy who made the fucking technology. Because that motherfucker's unhinged. He'll probably just throw me into the Stone Age, just like what happened with Mike TV. He just threw him in. Well, no, I think he did that. No, he did that to himself.
He threw himself into the set of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
All of them, a key point in both movies is that everything that happens is the action of the child themselves.
No, yeah, you're right. No, I just thought it was weird because like he should have been. No, he should have told them, hey, don't steal my ideas unless you want to get hit with a class action lawsuit. But instead, he's like, oh man, guys, they stole my idea. Oh, I'm gonna go hide in my little bunker and play with my Xbox. Bro! You could. Like, oh, no candy for you guys. It's like, what? Why would you do that? That's so unfair for the people who probably didn't do anything wrong. But whatever, I guess.
I do think it's really funny in that scene where the people
Really good Mr.
stealing
Krabs
the
shut
recipes
down
are
the Krusty
shown.
Krab just because Plankton attempted to steal his recipe.
Yeah.
I just think it's really funny that during the scene where it shows the guy stealing the recipes, it's literally just the guy walks like 5 feet over after exiting the factory and immediately hands it to the guy. And the envelope is literally labeled secret recipe.
Wow, what a...
It reminds me of how, like... Getting back to Sponge, reminds me of how, like, the secret sauce for Wendy's is literally labeled secret formula.
Like, okay, you know what? You know what Mr. Krabs invested in at least? A fucking safe. At least he invested in a damn safe. God. It's so dumb, and I'm getting so mad about it, even though it doesn't fucking matter. It still pisses me off. Because it's like, why? Why are you this incompetent? Like, you can't...
You think he's a genius, but he's an idiot. But I'm not.
It's just so dumb. It's so dumb. And we're back to talking about the plot again, but still. It's still annoying. I don't know. Should we move on to... Oh! Are we all done talking about the movie? Or do we have anything else we want to say about the movie?
The presentation.
Well, what do you think about the whole
Next,
part where Willy Wonka has to, I guess, learn to open up or be, like, I guess, go back to his dad? Interestingly enough, one thing I will mention about that, that scene was actually inspired by, like, an interaction between Tim Burton and his mom,
Yeah.
where like Tim Burton hadn't seen his mom in years, and then he visited her before she died, and she had like posters of all his movies. That's cool. Tim is still a dick though.
I was about to say, like, that's really sweet that he included that into this movie, but still, I mean, it doesn't change the fact that this movie
Doesn't make him doesn't stop him from not being a good guy.
a
Yeah.
bad guy, if you will. What were you saying, sir? Um, about the
Are we done talking about the presentation and effects?
I am. Are you all? Because I have an interesting thing here. If you all are ready,
Sure. Let's go ahead.
I want to ask you guys a question. What is everybody's favorite chocolate bars?
Okay.
Oh, I love Kit Kats.
Ooh, Kit Kats.
Yes, Kit Kats.
What are you saying, Roxy? Sorry.
I don't typically eat chocolate bars.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there like, I mean, any reason, or is like just not your thing? Which I get either way.
Yeah, not really my thing.
All
Bro,
right.
I could be like Mike TV. I could say I hate chocolate. I don't, but I could say it.
I was literally gonna make a joke and just say, "Okay, Mike TV." Anyways, but no, I get you.
Yo, can you just replace both of us with Mike TV on the thumbnail and Sir is confused?
No. My favorite personal chocolate bar is cookies and cream Hershey's. So yeah, take that for you, Will. Say what you want about them. They're actually pretty fucking good. I actually hear people say that they are the worst Hershey's, and I was like, bro, I hate almonds. I cannot stand them in my chocolate bars.
I do not. I have never liked almonds, and I don't like. I especially don't like candy with coconut on it.
Weird. My mom loves almonds.
Lucky for her, she enjoys almonds. I hate almonds so much. Almond joy, more like almond dissatisfaction. Shit. No, okay. Oh my god.
Every day I like to eat a nice, tasty Mounds bar. What? No wonder you can't walk.
There was a meme. I can't remember what the meme was. It was has nothing to do with chocolate, but it's like they were taught like it's a footage of a factory, and then like it was like making Oreos, or at least it seemed like Oreos, and he's like, "Oh, you get a nice tasty batch of Numinos. What the fuck?" Like he sounded so genuinely shook. Anyways, okay, so that was my nice little segment. I just wanted to ask what everybody's favorite chocolate bar was. Okay, now, starting with Sir, our final thoughts. You may begin.
It's all right. Like, I know I keep comparing it to Willy Wonka because I do prefer like the vibe that as for this story over than this. Where I was going to give it a 5, but I think Roxy's little tidbits about it kind of made it slightly better. So I'll instead give it a 6 out of 10.
All right. Well, Roxy, you're up.
Weirdly enough, I really like this movie. I mean, except for that one scene. I I really like pretty much almost the entire rest of it. So I'd probably give it a 10.
Damn, you guys are all really generous.
Oh wow.
So, I've been going back and forth all week. Like, after the first viewing, then doing like a rewatch. And then getting completely caught off guard. Because, like, when I first watched it, I really wasn't fully paying attention. So, this time I really was. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, this movie's not very good. And, like, out of all the things we talked about so far, I would say, like, if we had to again, like, rewatch, replay, redo, like, any of, like, our original list counterparts, I was always like, Yeah, I can see myself doing that again. I genuinely cannot see myself rewatching this movie. And I think whenever a movie becomes unwatchable or like not rewatchable, that really knocks its score down for me. Guys, I think it's time that we actually give our very first 1 out of 10. And that's going to this movie. This is my first 1 out of 10 I'm giving.
Well, this is a really divisive episode.
Dude, literally, if it wasn't for me being, I guess, accidentally persuasive with behind the scenes knowledge, it would have been a perfectly balanced scoreboard.
I know like a lot of people are probably like, damn, like
Not just that, some of the little tidbits for like why they did this, like, oh, that makes sense in the story. That's neat.
I just won't lie. I genuinely just did not enjoy this movie. There was nothing. Hold on. There were obviously the positives, the very small, very few, very selective positives. But at the end of the day, they weren't enough for me to go, oh yeah, I'd rewatch this movie. There's nothing that makes me want to come back. There's nothing that makes me really want to enjoy it. There's nothing to enjoy, in my opinion, of this movie.
This episode actually makes me want to go back and rewatch the original Willy Wonka.
And I feel like that's like the worst.
I really do love that movie growing up.
And I think this is one thing I feel like a lot of people wouldn't agree with me on. But I think whenever a movie makes you want to go watch something else, like that's when a movie fails. Whenever you actively want to say, I want to watch something else. That's bad for a game, that's bad for a movie, that's bad for a TV show, that's bad for a book. Or an album. Like, I genuinely cannot sit here and say, I would rewatch Willy Wonka. Okay.
Just realized we have yet to talk about an album.
I know.
On this show.
We'll talk about We Got It From Here.
Maybe that will be episode 24.
Maybe that'll be episode 25. Oh, wait, what? Our favorite music albums? No. No.
I don't think I have a collection of favorite music album. I mean, I might just, if asked, I might just list a bunch of video game soundtracks.
No.
I'd be like, look, Crash Bandicoot 2, Shovel Knight. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Games that I've already talked about. Caroline, stop making me talk about the same things.
That is your mistake.
You said it. You said the thing.
That was his stake. No, okay.
That was her mistake.
I will before I get off. I will say, my opinion might change if we talk about something truly bad. I promise that. This movie right
We will.
Now, oh yeah, I know we will. You know what? Okay, for now, I'm gonna bump it to a 3 out of 10. Well, actually, yeah, I'll put it at 3 out of 10 for now. And if anything happens, because I'm thinking like every time whenever we talk about one of these for the episode, like for an episode, I'm always like, would I rather watch this or talk about this that we have already reviewed on the podcast? This is nowhere near X-Men. This is nowhere near. Actually, this is probably as bad as Hell of a Ball. No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right. Well, shall we give our viewers a next time on the Vulture Culture podcast?
Next time is episode 15.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is my choice. The top 5 favorite TV shows.
That episode will.
Oh, we've already recorded that episode at this point.
Yeah. So go. Whenever it comes out, go watch it, please. Woo. Okay.
We recorded it with audio problems, which hopefully isn't too much. Hopefully isn't enough to like make us re-record it.
Yeah. Okay, let me actually get the list pulled up. Okay. Yeah. Oh, god dang it! Fuck! We're already gonna be talking about something worse! God!
Oh, yeah.
Episode
now
16!
Now that we record this, I'm actually gonna finally go out and play at least 3 of these games on my phone.
Alright, you enjoy. The next episode of the Vulture Culture Podcast, the main big one, I almost said episode 3. Episode 16 is a continuation of Five Nights at Freddy's. Yay. So we're going to be covering Sister Location, Pizzeria Simulator, and UCN, and nothing else. No arguments? No.
No, it's fine.
Roxy, you're not going to argue with me?
Wait, sorry, what?
Oh, I said the next episode will be the sequel to the FNAF episode, with us talking about Sister Location, Pizzeria Simulator, and Ultimate Custom Night, and that seems to be about it. Right?
Yay!
Wow. Okay, well, hold on. I guess I have to call myself out. Evil Spirit, you moron. Didn't you forget FNAF World was also a part of that? Yeah. I like to forget about that game. I don't like it.
Dude, FNAF World is so good that I didn't even realize you didn't list it.
That's what makes it even better. Don't worry. This won't be a slam hate fest on FNAF World. But I will be talking
FNAF
about
World is so good.
Makes me want to merge in the lane without looking.
Hey, funny thing about that, I did a quick replay of FNAF World recently, so hopefully you all are excited.
I'm gonna plug.
Oh no, I didn't do a playthrough of it. I don't plan to do a playthrough of it again yet. Maybe one day I'll sit down and do a full 100% playthrough, but I would have to do it for something like charity. Or some shit. Maybe on a live stream.
That's the only way you're willing to play it again.
What?
That's the only willing way you're going to play it again.
Yeah. Anyways, episode 17 will be Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And when I looked at the movie, I was like, oh, cool, Monty Python. I know this movie. But, like, I didn't know that there was already a TV show called Monty Python and the Flying Circus.
Isn't that the original?
I think so.
The original of, like, the Monty Python stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm unsure. I just know that Monty Python and the Flying Circus is, like, beginning of the radio broadcast or storytelling or whatever the fuck is.
Wait. If I say something
Earthbound.
in the video, that must be true. If I say something in the video, that must mean it's true. Guys, Caroline's putting footage of the Charlie in the Chocolate Factory PS2 game.
I'm not. No, I'm gonna use footage of. I don't know yet. Should I just do Doom 26? Doom is like this is what the kids were seeing the entire freaking time. God, that'd be funny. But no, I don't know yet.
No, use Poppy Playtime footage.
God, I would have to replay Poppy Playtime. Actually, how long was? No. Okay. Okay. And then episode 18, my pick, and a pick I'm really excited to do, Fantastic Four 2005. Yay! Oh, sorry. Yippee!
Say that again?
I know. It's going to be a good one. This movie's great. And then 19 will be our continuation of Stranger Things Season 2. This is going to be a good one, I feel. I feel it in my chest, in my bones.
Did you say in my ball?
No, I said in my bone. What? My balls.
Bones.
Oh, I thought you said in your ball.
What? Why would I say? Whatever.
Bones. Oh, I don't have nitro. I can't use the bonk sound effect on you again.
If we did. And then episode 20 will be our fictional crushes list. Then
That's going to be a very chaotic episode.
Oh yeah. Also, the next episode after that will be another. We'll bring on another guest because it has been a while since we had a guest on this podcast, and that will be Pantherino, and we'll be covering Danganronpa, which I am very excited because I get to replay through Danganronpa again, and I feel like I need a break from bullshit for a while now, so this is gonna feel nice. And not only that, we also have episode 22. Sir picked this one. Sir, you want to say it?
Also, you spelled it wrong on the list.
Oh, did I?
It's
Shane. Shane, half genie hero. Hell yeah! I fixed it on the list.
Dante, half genie hero.
Yep.
Shane Dawson Jr., half cat hero. Half
God.
Oh, God.
Oh no! Oh no! Shane Dawson. Other than that, we also have Rick and Morty for episode 23. I just know Roxy's just like, yeah, finally. I know you're excited, Roxy. You can calm down.
I didn't say anything.
I know, but you're just too excited. I just hear you over there, like jumping in your seat, like, oh, we're gonna be talking about Rick and Morty. And I'm like, yeah, Roxy, we're talking about Rick and Morty, and you're gonna be so excited. And then I'm gonna be all like, get back to okay. And then episode 24 has not been picked out.
Though, based on what we said earlier, I think it might actually. Don't know exactly, but I might be our first music album episode.
I might do like the footage I might use will be fucking like Dance Dance Revolution or some shit.
Or Gex, because Gex is awesome.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't played it yet.
Dude, I've seen fan art of Gex as a goth trans woman, so that's pretty cool. One of them had a giant penis.
Why? Why would you do that to us? I don't know what I've done to deserve to get the idea of Gex stuff. Anyways, in episode.
I mean, you're already going to use
25
Gex footage for the favorite TV shows episode.
For which show?
No, just the in between, like the intro and outro, like how you use Donkey Kong 64 footage for the.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I was very confused. I was like, which one did I say I do that for? Because I know for Donkey Kong, I know I did that for Donkey Kong, so yeah, I could probably just do that for here as well for TV shows. I just have to get Gex. I could get Gex. I could just, do a bad thing and become a pirate. But, and then episode 25. You know what? Actually, guys, when the viewers see this episode, they'll know what episode 25 is. And when you guys watch the premiere, you guys will know what episode 25 is. But I'm not going to reveal it yet.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Fucking Jar Jar Binks ass.
Wait, hold on. I might have fucked up. Sorry, that won't be for a while. You guys won't know what episode 5 will be for a while. Or episode
That's
24 will be.
That's Gex's tail, Roxy.
No, I didn't send the one with the giant dick.
Okay.
I mean, if you want me to, I can, but
No,
I don't really
please.
think you want to see that.
Anyways, episode 25 will be announced on my Blue Sky. So go follow my Blue Sky. Speaking of my Blue Sky, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Vulture Culture Podcast. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to follow any of our hosts, we have links down below, hopefully. Hopefully I remember to do that. I think I will, don't worry. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you forgot to do that in the Roger Rabbit episode.
I did, yeah. I'm probably going to go back and fix that after this. Because I know on some episodes I forgot. But I'll go fix that right away. But in the meantime, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Or whatever you do with these videos. We'll see you guys in episode 15, our top 5 best TV shows list. Goodbye!
Comment what you do to our videos!
Woo! Yeah!
Caroline said, whatever you do to our videos, comment what you do.
Yeah.
Please, I want to see.
Roxy, I feel like
I
you're
don't.
gonna comment. Roxy, I feel like you're just gonna go in there and comment. I gooned to it. And I'm gonna be like, blah!
I have never done that.
I know, but I feel like that's gonna happen this time around.
Are we still recording this?
Oh yeah. Oh, bye.